Alright guys, so now that we have our dashboard, we're going to tackle the edit form. Okay, if we click the edit button, it takes us to the correct route. We just need to create a route for this in our file. Alright, so let's go to, let's see, routes, where are you? Route stories. And we want we want to accept a get request to story/edit/ID. So let's go right under the add story form. I guess we can just copy this and we'll say edit story form, and that's going to be a get request to /edit/:ID. Okay, it's going to be ensure authenticated, and then it's going to load up the edit template. All right, story/edit. Now we're going to need the initial story to pass into the edit form so that we can pre-fill it. All right, so to do that, it's going to be very easy. All we need to do is basically the same thing we did here on a single story. So we can grab the find one. We don't really need the populate user, but we'll just grab this whole thing right here. Oops, didn't mean to cut it. I'm going to copy it. And then we'll go to our edit. Let's just go paste it in here. And then we're just going to grab our edit render and put that here. Actually, I'll just change this to stories/edit. Okay, we can get rid of the populate user. We're not going to need that. And that should do it. So let's save. And if we reload, okay, now we're getting booted out because we're not logged in. So let's go ahead and log in. And let's click edit. And we get our edit template. Now right now is just an H1 in there, so we need to put our form in here. Now the form is pretty much identical to the add form, so let's copy that as a starting point. So we'll go to add handlebars in the stories folder, in the views folder, and we'll just grab everything. We'll go to edit handlebars and paste that in. Alright, so let's go ahead and say edit story. And now since we passed in story right here, we have access to that, so we're going to add some values. So for the title, let's go ahead and say value equals actually it's going to be story.title. Alright, let's see if that works. Reload. Good. So story 1. Now this is kind of tricky. This took me a while to figure out how to make it so that the status is gonna be selected, you know, whatever is in the database. So for instance, if I go to MLab to our stories and let's change story 2, we can actually edit these. I don't know if I showed you this, but we can edit. Let's change status to private and save. And then if we go back to, let's go to our dashboard, you'll see that story 2 is now private. If I go to edit, it still says public, and it took me a while to figure out a way to fix this. And what I decided to do is to create another handlebars helper called select. And I actually found this on Stack Overflow. So what we're going to do is go to our handlebars helper, so helpers and then HBS. And we're going to create a function here called select. All right, so we'll create a function, and that's going to take in selected, and it's going to take in options. All right, and then all we want to do here is just say return options dot fn, and then we want to pass in this. Okay, so whatever option it is, and we want to replace. And we're going to use regexp. So we're going to say new regexp, and we want to pass in here space value equals / double quotes, and then we're going to concatenate selected. Okay, so selected, and then we just want to concatenate again. And we want to put here single quote / double quote single quote. Let's see, did I mess something up here? You know what? I'm just going to paste this in, guys. it's kind of long. So let's just paste this in. All right. So basically, what it's doing is it's going to look at the selected, and it's going to run it through this regexp. Okay, so it's using regular expressions to add on this selected to whichever one is actually selected. I don't know if I explained that right. This is actually pretty hard to explain, but it's going to work. So just make sure that you copy this exact. This is one of those things where I can't tell you exactly how it works, but it does. So let's go ahead and save. And then all we have to do now is go to our edit template here, go to our select. Well, first we have to bring it into as a handlebars helper. So let's go to app.js, and just like we did with the rest of these, actually we want to go right here, and we want to bring in select, and then we're going to add it right here. Select. All right, so now we should be able to use it in our template. So right under the actual select tag, we're going to go like this: select, and then pass in story.status. Okay, so whatever it is, whether it's private, public, unpublished, or whatever. And then we're going to go ahead and put the end select tag like that. All right, so we'll save. Let's go back. Okay, we have to log back in. All right, so story 1, let's click edit. We know that that's public. Story 2 is private. Let's click edit, and we get private. All right, so a little bit of magic. This is a really cool helper that you can use anywhere. It's not just for this select list. Any select list that you want to use and you want to have the default value selected, you can reuse this. All right, all of these are really nice helpers that you can reuse in other projects. All right, now for the allow comments, let's see, do any of these, I think they all allow comments. Let's check the database. No, story 2 is allow comments false. So how do we get it so that this is unchecked? So let's go to our edit handlebars, and don't worry, this is not nearly as hard. All we have to do is wrap this checked in an if. Okay, so we'll just say if allow comments, and then here we'll go /if, like that. Let's go and reload, and now it's unchecked. Okay, if we go to story 1, uh-oh, that's not right. If allow comments, oh, I'm sorry, it's if story dot allow comments. All right, so that's unchecked. Story 1 should be checked. Good. Story 3 should be checked. So we get that. Now we just want to add the body value. So the text area right here, we're going to go ahead and put in our body, our story body, and save. And there we go. All right, so we now have our edit form filled up. So in the next video, what we're going to do is make it so that we can actually submit this form. So we're going to install method override, and we're going to create the query to insert or update this value or this resource in the database.